Hello. Never say to your children or loved ones, I give up. I'm just going to leave it in the hands of God. I'm done. You have to continue to still pray for them, because when you do, you allow the enemy to attack them. They still need a covering. One of Jesus' disciples asked him, how many times shall I ask my brother or someone for forgiveness? And he said till 70 times 7, 70, something like that. Anyway, more than a lot per day. But when you do that, and then when things happen, where's your son? Where's your daughter? They're in jail, You can't release them. You can't be praying for them. Said every time I pray, they get worse. Of course, the enemy is trying to get you to stop. They still need a covering. Just like when God sent Jonah to, is it Nineveh? Is that how you say it? Because the people were doing all kinds of sins. And he said, tell them that in other words, I'm going to destroy them. But they began to repent. God knew that they were going to repent. But because he's a God of the future and a God of now, he knows the beginning of the end. But that's not even the point. The point is, he still give you the opportunity. Though he do see the end. But if they had not repented, he knew the end. If they had repented, he knew the end. But just like I said, they began to fast and everything, and God forgave them, and he repented of that thing of what he was going to do. But they continue to pray. Somebody has to continue to pray. Don't stop giving up. Don't get so frustrated until you say, I'm done. I'm God, I'm done. It's in your hands. No, it's in your hands. He gave you the duty to do the works, because he's gone. You have to continue to cover. You might be tired and worn out, but you have to. Don't let the enemy go to your loved ones and destroy them, and because that's his mission. I had this dream about this guy that was in jail. I think he was I don't know, he had that blonde curly hair, but he was in front of the like when you're in jail and then you go to parole or in front of these people, and they can say, hey, we can let you go, whatever. But they began to taunt him and say negative things about him, and he was just sitting there calm, and then they hit a nerve, and he got up, he picked up this object, and he threw it real hard at another man who took the last laugh. I thought that was really cruel, and it went halfway through his heart, and the man died. And so then they're like, I knew you wasn't ready, and they put him back in jail. But see, that's wrong. When you keep taunting people, and it was something that happened. He had became a madman person. I don't know how he got out of that place, but he was shooting up everybody and things like that. This is the act of the enemy. And I had to ask God, why do people continue to do things, Lord, that's not very nice. Whatever, you have to continue to be nice, and then you get this resentment, but it's not them. And I couldn't understand why in the Bible they were like, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. And it's like, that's a hard thing when somebody's doing something, but it's not them, it's the enemy. And that's why we have to ask God, give me the type of love and compassion that you had, where I can look beyond my personal, how that aggravates me, and look at this person's need, because everybody who does something is going through something. I keep looking around because people, every time I do this, people pull up beside me and just start staring. But yeah, so continue to pray over your loved ones, that they don't go to jail. And I want to also say this, the children of Israel, how they say that, really it's the children of Jacob. That's what it basically is, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So we'll say the people of Jacob, but the people of Israel. I know a lot of people still thinking that, and I'm just going to say this because people tend to keep thinking when they even all races, when they say Jewish or Jew people, they keep picturing the ones that's there now. They have not been there like since the beginning. But when you read in all these like Deuteronomy and all these other verses where it talk about how the children of Israel, the children of Jacob, through and we're the grandchildren of Jacob, where they rebelled, and God kept forgiving them. But it also says in the Bible that the children were going to be sold and all these things, and I never heard about the Jewish people where they are now, Israel, where they had their ankles chained, or the brass over their head, or the generations keep getting wiped out. Because right now, the position that they are in, they're the head, not the tail. So who is God talking about when he said, if you keep rebelling, children of Jacob, these things going to happen to you, and it's going to continue to happen till you're all wiped out because of your rebellion? And God continually forgave, because he loves everybody. But this is what I'm saying. The children of Israel is the children of Jacob. That's, and it's not the people that's in Israel right now. All the ones who were there, and they stressed out to Midian and Arabia, they all fled. They fled to that, what we call the continent of Africa, which was not called Africa at the time. But anyway, that's where they are. But a lot of them had went back. But anyway, it's not at peace. Right now, Israel is not at peace. They're doing all kinds of things, drinking, not keeping I'm not saying that they didn't drink back then, but the majority of the people, they don't even talk about Jesus. So that's not but anyway, everybody, we need Jesus, but don't stop praying. Pray for the animals. I was watching a video about this animal where he was so starving to death until he was just swallowing plastic and didn't digest whatever. But God put those animals here for us. When there was a young lady, she had a son that was really sick, but for the animal was a cat, and the cat stayed by this boy for a long time. And she told me that was really strange. My cat never does that. And then she said 15 minutes. She said, I left 15 minutes later, he went into a seizure. It's like God, they're like forewarning, So God expects us to take care of those animals. We're supposed to be dominion over them. We know the sin came in the lions. Now we're not, I hope we're not crazy enough to go into the jungle and start talking to lions. But anyway, I'm just saying, we're to take care of them. Continue to pray.